This is my contest entry for Beyondbracelets contest. I'm going to show you how to make these Christmas tree earrings. You're going to need a pair of earring wires, 20 gauge wire, a wire cutter, flat nose pliers, round nose pliers, beads small enough that will fit on your wire, some tacky glue or any other kind of glue that you want to use that'll work, and something to put your glue on. I just use a bathroom cup. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut 2 pieces of wire 9 to 12 inches. So I'm going to cut this about, I don't know, 10 or 11. The more wire you use, the bigger the spiral tree will be. Okay, so you're going to put one of the pieces of wire to the side because that's for your other Christmas tree. So you're going to start off by taking the end of the wire, and if you're going to want to make these, you're going to want to have some experience in using wire. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a hook at the end of your wire by placing it at the tip of your round nose pliers and bending the wire around the plier. You're going to want to make the hook so it becomes completely closed. Like that. And then you're going to bend the hook straight up, like kind of perpendicular from the long piece of wire, like that. Okay, so this is the tricky part. You're going to want to start spiraling the wire around itself. So like when you draw a spiral on a piece of paper, it's kind of going to look like that, except you want to do it kind of tight. So this is what I mean when I say spiral around, except for you're going to want the wire to actually be touching itself, because we're going to pull it apart to make the kind of cone shape on the tree. So you start with the hook facing up, because that's going to be the part that attaches to the earring, and you're going to pinch right at the base of the hook, and you're going to start to twist to make a spiral. You're going to just keep spiraling it around on itself. This does not have to be perfect. I got a lot of bumps and it's not always flush with itself. But you're going to do this to until it's about the size of maybe a quarter, maybe bigger. Depends on how big you want your tree to be. So this is what it looks like when I'm done spiraling it around. Really messy, but it's okay, it won't look that bad when you pull it apart. So what you're going to do is hold the hook in one hand and just start to kind of pull the wire down away from the hook so it creates a cone. And up at the top you're going to want to use your pliers because it's kind of difficult to pull those ones apart. So you just keep pulling them apart until you get to your desired shape. And just keep playing with it until it looks right. You can kind of untwist it, makes it wider. I like to do that. Okay. So it's not perfect. Doesn't really have to be. You can keep molding it until it's perfect. And so this is where the beads come in. What I like to do is put a dot of glue on the bottom of a bathroom cup. So it kind of just like sits there and dries a tiny bit. And then I take my beads and I'll put the most colorful ones I can find on the tree. And I just like to put them all on at one time. And I'll put maybe 8 to 10 beads on it. So I'm putting the bead on the end. Piece of the wire of the tree. That one doesn't fit. It'll be hard to put the beads on if your wire's kinky, so make sure you don't really kink it up too much. That sounded a little dirty. Okay, so I finished putting just some random beads on the tree. And in case you couldn't tell, the beads are supposed to be ornaments. They look like ornaments to me, but you never know. I don't know. That's what they look like to me. So, I'm going to push one down to kind of the bottom. I don't think you'll be able to see this at all. But there's one near the hook of the tree. And I'm going to take a dab of glue. You can do this from directly from the glue bottle, but I'm just doing it this way. And I'm taking a piece of scrap wire to put it on. I guess you use a toothpick or something like that. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue where I want the bead to go. And I move the bead to that spot where the glue is. And I just let it dry a tiny bit so it'll stay there. So here's put a dot of glue. Doesn't matter where you put the glue, just as long. Well, I mean, you put it on the wire, but on the positioning, just so it's like evenly spaced, but not too evenly where it looks overdone. So you just keep putting the glue and putting the beads where the glue is. I'm sorry if you can't really see this, but I think you get the idea. Just glue the last bead on. And now I am going to put a dab of glue on the very end piece of the wire because it's sharp and you don't want it scratching your face or whatever. I put a piece of dab of glue on there, and then I stick a bead right on the end. Like that. And glue it on. So you're gonna let this dry for however long So your last step is putting the earring part on the tree. So you just open the hook that's on the bottom of the earring just by twisting it a little bit. Now it's open. And slipping that through the hook on the tree that you made. That's not big enough. And when you put your tree on that hook, on the earring hook, you close the earring hook by just clamping it straight down. And there's one earring, and you do the same thing for the next one, obviously, and then you'll have a pair of Christmas tree earrings. Those ones weren't exactly the same size, but try to make yours the same size so it looks pretty even. And I suggest wearing your hair up, or if you have short hair, that's fine, with these earrings, because your hair might get like tangled up in the wire. Thanks for watching.